Hey there friends, Brian King, the Mindset King here. One of the things that I really encourage people to develop within themselves is enhance their sense of resourcefulness, which is basically seeing opportunities within any kind of difficulty, no matter what it is. Something simple, something difficult. Just a quick example, when one of my boys was younger and accidentally spilled a box of cereal on the floor, I could have thrown a fit and said, watch what you're doing, you klutz, you just wasted a whole box of cereal. Instead, I looked at him and I said, looks like we got a problem here. What should we do about this? And he said, clean it up. I said, yeah, great. What should we use? A broom? Okay, where is it? Well, it's over there. Hey, why don't you go get it and we can clean this up? Again, immediately solution focused. I knew what we needed to do and I knew what the problem was. I knew what we needed to do and we had tools, resources to go and do it. But that's typical everyday stuff. What if the problems you face are completely outside your wheelhouse, things you've never experienced before? Let's say you're an entrepreneur. Better yet, you're an entrepreneur with some kind of chronic illness or disability, and the people that you're asking don't have these challenges. So they give you the typical solutions for how to organize yourself, use a daily planner. But hey, I have ADHD. I don't think a linear way. What should I do? Well, I really don't know how to help you. Sorry. Well, but if you went to somebody with ADHD who's also an entrepreneur, they might have some creative solutions for you, and they usually do, because they need to make it work according to their brain. Now, let's say you got a physical disability, like in my case, MS. There are things that typically need to happen in the course of a day in order to run your business, and again, you ask people that are traditional entrepreneurs who don't have these issues, they don't have answers for you. There are some long-standing issues that I've had that make it difficult. Right now I'm sitting up at my desk chair. My computer is to my left. And one problem I've had for well over a year now is how exhausted I get just sitting upright. And I don't know about you, but I went to Catholic school and it was all about sitting up straight, looking forward, good posture, all that stuff. And good posture was easier back then, but now, because I have poor conductivity between my brain and my body, there's some short circuiting there. My body muscles don't always get the signals they need to hold me up. So I slouch all the time. I mean, within seconds, I pull myself up and say, oh, I've got to sit up straight so I don't develop back spasms. A couple seconds later, I'm already slouching again because my body's too tired to hold up. For over a year, I've had that issue. And I can't remember how I came across the solution, but I learned about these things. Looks like I'm wearing a little backpack here, but I'm not. This is a figure 8 strap. And this particular model is used for people that have breaks in their clavicle. They break the collarbone, and it keeps the shoulders back to take the pressure off the clavicle. But in my case, it also pulls the shoulders back so that they don't roll forward when I start to slouch. So it helps support my upper body and keep me upright. And I started wearing it yesterday, and I was able to do a lot more work with a lot less slouching yesterday. So this is one of those things that typical entrepreneurs probably wouldn't know anything about because it's not a problem they have. But here's the important takeaway here. Just because the first person you ask doesn't know about it, you don't know about it, doesn't mean the solution doesn't exist. It's a matter of putting that question out there repeatedly, asking more people until you come across somebody that says, oh yeah, I know what you need for that. Some of them will even send you a link to Amazon or something. We happen to have a specialty pharmacy in town, so we were able to just go to the other side of town and buy a bunch of things. This was just one of them. The second thing is, I also have circulation problems because of this. And my feet go purple, and I mean like deep grape purple, within 20 minutes I'm sitting down at my desk. And sometimes I go to the recliner or go to my bed, elevate my legs and work from bed to improve the circulation again. But sometimes I get hyper-focused on what I'm doing and I totally forget because I don't feel my legs going purple. They just do. So, same specialty shop. Mommy's home from the store. Puppies are excited. So I got myself some on-sale compression socks. They put pressure on my calf muscles to help push the blood back up so that the blood doesn't pool in my legs. And yesterday when I took my socks off, hey, no purple feet. So these things are working. So that's two tools I got now. So they help me sit up, help with my circulation. Again, something that wouldn't be on somebody else's radar. But when you have difficulties like I do, you have chronic fatigue, you have MS, you have cerebral palsy, whatever it is, these little tools typically are only known about by the people that live with these particular circumstances. So you've got to ask them. Now, I said this is going to be super vulnerable, and I'm all about putting yourself out there without shame. And this was difficult for me to face the first time, but now it's a reality and you got to be able to talk about it. One of the things the MS has begun to impact is bowel and bladder control. I don't always know when I need to go. So sometimes things just kind of start on their own and create issues. So one of the things I found was a absorbent pad for guys that helps catch anything that starts too soon or doesn't finish the way you thought it did. And needless to say, there's fear or anxiety about what if this happens in public, so to speak. So I was able to get something yesterday to prevent that from becoming an issue. And these are things that guys, I don't know about the ladies, but guys in particular can be very insecure about. But here's the reality. If I didn't bring it up, I wouldn't have found the answer. I would have lived with that. I would have lived with that embarrassment, that shame, and it would have continued to be a problem. And the more I feel like I can't talk about it, the more that insecurity compounds itself and may even hold me back from going out in public to network, to have a meeting with somebody, because what if that happened? Now, I've taken that fear out of the equation. So it's things like that that need to be addressed because of the barrier they can provide you or they can create that keeps you from getting to the next step in developing your personal relationships and developing your business. So you got to put it out there, not necessarily like I do. You know, I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin. But find somebody that you are secure enough to be that vulnerable with, where you can say, hey, I got this issue. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to ask. Can you help me brainstorm some solutions? Do you happen to know somebody with a similar problem who could help me out? Because that's what you got to do. You've got to face the most raw, the most honest stuff within you, especially if you have a chronic illness or disability, if you want to succeed in business. Because it's often these little things like, hey man, I can't sit up for very long, or hey, sometimes I don't know when I'm done and it creates a mess. What do I do? If you can solve those problems, they can be out of your mind and they can completely unleash you in terms of the options that are now available for you because you slayed those fears. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope it's been helpful. If so, drop me a comment, let me know. If there's somebody in your life, especially a guy that's afraid of his own vulnerability, feel free to share this with them. And let me be the example of that it's okay to be vulnerable, to ask for help. Because once you've got that support and that strength, that's like putting fuel in the race car. You now have that much more to move forward. And until next time, this has been Brian. Thanks for being you.